Hey there, it's Wendy from Worldwide Speak, and I'm here today to talk about a little more serious of a topic in academic writing, and that's plagiarism. It's a good thing we have a nice sunny day here in the studio to talk about something so serious. This is a beginner's guide to plagiarism, what it is and how to avoid it. And make sure if you haven't subscribed yet, you do that and set up your notifications because I'm going to be doing a series of videos on plagiarism. Because as you move up in your academic writing, you're going to have to be much more specific about how you cite your sources, and you need to know what the correct format of that is. But we don't need to worry about that right now. Today, we're just going to learn what plagiarism is and a couple of ways to avoid it. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what plagiarism is. Plagiarism is when you take somebody else's ideas or thoughts or words and use them as your own without citing them. It's theft, right? Plagiarism is stealing, and stealing is wrong, so we absolutely do not want to do that. And when you don't cite your source, that is when plagiarism can occur. You do not want to just copy and paste words or ideas or thoughts into your paper because it's a very, very serious offense in academic settings in the United States. And your teacher will definitely know. I can tell you, as a teacher in college settings, I know when my students plagiarize, when they copy and paste or steal ideas or words or thoughts, because I have certain programs that I use to check specifically for plagiarism. So it's always a good idea. Use your own words, use your own ideas and your own thoughts. Do not steal words or ideas from other people. And if you do choose to borrow ideas and thoughts, you need to make sure you tell the reader where those ideas and thoughts and words came from. That's citing your source. And never, ever copy and paste information into your paper. I promise you, your teachers will know. Okay, so let's take a look. I want to show you an example of plagiarism so you have a clear idea of what this looks like. So this is an introduction paragraph, a very basic one, so it's a nice, easy example for you about running. And the paragraph reads, "Athletics is not so much about legs, it's about the heart and mind. This is why many runners train their minds even more than their bodies. Mental toughness is what separates finishers from champions. There are many reasons why this is the case." Well, that sounds like an awesome introduction paragraph, but there's a problem. There's plagiarism. Because in that paragraph, it was Eliud Kipchoge who said, "Athletics is not so much about the legs, it's about the heart and mind." And so what I did when I wrote this is I stole his words from him. I mean, how horrible is that? I'm stealing from a champion runner. So, and he is one of my most favorite human beings in the world. So I would not want to do that. So here we have an example of not letting the reader know who said those beautiful words. It's wrong, it's stealing, and you will fail if you copy somebody else's words without citing where they came from. So how do we fix this? Well, one way to avoid plagiarism is to use quotation marks and say who said this. You use it directly. So you can see here that the first two sentences were the quote from Eliud, and I just changed it and said, "Eliud Kipchoge stated that," and I have my quotation marks, Athletics is not so much about the legs, it's about the heart and the mind. So now the reader knows, oh, somebody else said this, and I know who it is because the writer has told me who said that. And quotes are a great source for your papers for detail and to explain examples, but you just have to make sure that you tell the reader where it came from and that you use quotation marks. Let's look at another way to avoid plagiarism, and that's to paraphrase. Now remember, here's our quote. Down below you can see it. And what I did was I included his name in the sentence, but I changed his words around a little bit to make them mine. So I've given him credit, but I've rephrased the sentences so they're in my words. Eliud Kipchoge, a famous runner, once noted that being athletic is not as much about your body as it is about your head and your heart. So you can see I changed some words around there, and instead of saying athletics, I said athletic, and I talked about it not being about your body, and he specifically had said legs, and then your head and your heart. So it's the same concept, it's the same idea. The reader can get the same image in their mind, but now you've used your words, you have paraphrased, and you've also made sure to say where that information was coming from. Now remember, plagiarism is theft, and plagiarism is super serious in the United States in our academic settings. If you plagiarize, you will fail. You do not want that to happen. So make sure if you're using a direct quote from somebody for your paper, say who it is and use quotation marks, or you can paraphrase, put it in your own words, change, use synonyms and change the word order, and then also make sure you let the reader know where that information was coming from or who had that idea. So this is a very basic beginning guide to what plagiarism is and a couple of ways to avoid it. So make sure that you start avoiding plagiarism as you begin your writing journey in English. As always, it's great having you here learning with us. Remember to subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.